Welcome, everyone. We're diving deep today into the life and work of Zen Benefiel.
Yeah, a fascinating guy. Really a visionary thinker.
Definitely. And you know what's so cool?
Yeah.
We're tracing his journey from early paranormal experiences
Oh, wow.
all the way to his work on consciousness and our changing world.
It's quite the evolution.
It is. So, to set the stage, Zen was adopted as a baby and grew up in rural Indiana with a Christian upbringing.
Sounds pretty typical.
Right. You'd think so, but his childhood was anything but ordinary. He's talked about hearing voices from a young age
Really?
and even having contact experiences with what he describes as a large orange cigar-shaped cloud.
That's wild. I mean, just think about it. The
Yeah.
impact those kinds of experiences must have on shaping a person's whole worldview.
Absolutely. And then there's this story about a book falling off a shelf in a bookstore for him.
Like a sign.
Almost. It was as if it was confirming his childhood experiences. That's what sparked his fascination with ufology.
Wow. Yeah, that's like a scene from a movie.
It is. It pushed him to explore these really unconventional topics. But let's talk about the voices he heard.
Okay, yeah, how did he deal with that?
He actually had to learn to differentiate between voices he could trust and those he couldn't.
Wow, that's got to be tough.
It was. He was even hospitalized and misdiagnosed as psychotic after some unfortunate events.
Oh.
He was on heavy medication. But thankfully, a conversation with his friend Gary really helped.
What happened?
Gary helped Zen understand that he was actually picking up on the negative energy of others.
Wow. That's a powerful insight. So instead of being psychotic, he was like an empath almost.
Exactly. That connects to his later view of voices as frequencies and vibrations, right? Linked to emotions and thoughts.
It's like he was experiencing those emotions and thoughts as actual sensations.
Yeah. It's like he was tuned into this different channel that most people don't even know exists. He had to learn how to process and interpret all those frequencies.
That's incredible. Almost like learning a new language.
Right. A language of energy and vibration. And it's fascinating because this understanding underpins all his later work on consciousness and human potential.
It all comes together. So with all this going on, how did he even build a career?
Well, it's been a diverse journey. He started in aerospace, believe it or not.
Aerospace. That seems so different.
It does. But even in that field, his success was all about communication and motivation.
So he was already connecting with people on a deep level?
Exactly. Then he transitioned into television production. He hosted a show called One World, where he interviewed people about their personal growth, their challenges.
He was already exploring these themes, even back then.
He was. And then he went into teaching, business consulting, and eventually even life coaching.
Wow, what a path. It's like he was constantly drawn to helping people understand themselves and reach their full potential.
That's where his writing comes in. Wouldn't you say that his writing career is the culmination of all those experiences?
I think so, absolutely. It's through his writing that he really starts digging deep into these big questions about consciousness, human unity, our place in the cosmos.
And you know what's interesting? He actually started with fiction. He wrote the Zendor the Barbarian series, which was later compiled into Stubbing My Toe on Purpose.
Fiction, huh? I wonder what drew him to that.
It shows a playful side to him, right? A willingness to experiment with different realities.
Maybe it was a way for him to process his own experiences, through storytelling.
That makes sense. He also became the curator of Ufology Press, a website dedicated to UFO news and perspectives.
So he was already establishing himself as a voice in the ufology community.
Definitely. And then a really big moment for him was his interview with Jeffrey Mishlove on New Thinking Aloud.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge platform.
This was the culmination of a 28-year dream for him. He got to share his perspective with a wide audience and connect with a real leader in consciousness studies.
After facing so much skepticism, that must have felt incredible.
I can only imagine. And it seemed to fuel his writing even more. He then published Ufology Press Blog, a collection of his blog entries covering ufology, consciousness, and human evolution.
So he's bringing it all together.
He is. It's like he's finally finding his voice, his platform, his way of sharing his unique perspective with the world. And this leads us to his current work, which focuses on his vision for a more conscious civilization.
Right, the big picture stuff.
Exactly. His book, 0 to 1, Making Our Way Toward a Conscious Civilization, lays out this grand vision. He argues that humanity is on the verge of a major evolutionary leap.
That we're at a turning point.
Yes. And his work is all about guiding us through this transition.
I'm really curious about the 0 to 1 concept. What exactly does he mean by that?
Well, he uses the Kardashev scale, the one that measures a civilization's technological advancement, To explain it,
Okay, I've heard of that.
he says that right now we're in a zero state, which is full of division and competition. But to advance, we need to move to a one state.
A state of unity and collaboration.
Exactly. He believes we need to shift from a head-centric way of being, where we rely too much on logic and intellect, to a more body-centric way of being.
Body-centric. Interesting. What does that look like?
It's about reconnecting with our bodies, our intuition, our feelings. He argues that our bodies are instruments of perception.
Like we can actually sense things beyond our five senses.
Exactly. He even has this great quote, "We cannot think our way through a system built on vibration. We have to feel our way through it."
Wow, that's powerful. He's challenging us to go beyond just thinking, to tap into a deeper level of awareness.
He is. And it all ties back to his early experiences, hearing voices as frequencies and vibrations.
He's saying that we all have the potential to access that deeper awareness, but we need to learn how to listen to our bodies and trust our intuition.
It's like our bodies hold a wisdom that we've ignored in our modern world.
And by tapping into that wisdom, we can create a more harmonious and conscious future.
This is so fascinating. We're really seeing how his personal journey has shaped his work and his vision.
It's a remarkable example of how someone can take their unique, even challenging experiences and transform them into something truly meaningful.
So we're really seeing how Zen's journey has influenced his writing and thought leadership. But what stands out to you about his message? What resonates with you from what we've discussed so far?
For me, it's that idea that we're all interconnected through these unseen energies and vibrations. It's like we're all part of this massive web of consciousness, constantly influencing each other.
Right. And it's not just about UFOs or paranormal stuff, is it?
No, not at all. It's about recognizing that we have this potential within us, this ability to connect to something bigger than ourselves.
Exactly. Zen's work is really about human potential and the evolution of consciousness.
He's pushing us to question our assumptions about reality, to dive into the mysteries of existence.
And I think that's what makes his work so compelling. He's not just throwing out theories, he's sharing his own experiences and insights, making it relatable.
I agree, it's very authentic. And he's not afraid to tackle these complex ideas, weaving together physics, spirituality, indigenous wisdom.
And he does it in a way that's actually accessible. There's humor in his writing, humility. He's not just talking about abstract concepts, he's offering practical advice.
Oh, absolutely. Like his advice for aspiring writers.
Yeah.
Be authentic, start small, understand your audience.
Such valuable insights, not just for writers, but for anyone who wants to share their message. Right?
Absolutely. He says, write what you know. Tap into your own experiences, your passions. Share your unique voice, your truth.
And he emphasizes just starting, even if it's just a little bit each day. Don't get hung up on perfection. Just get those words out there.
It's about overcoming that fear of judgment and letting the creative flow take over.
And remembering to consider your audience. Think about who you're trying to reach and how your message will resonate with them. Craft it in a way that's engaging and relevant.
It's all about communication, whether you're writing a book or just having a conversation. Be authentic, start small, understand your audience.
And it's interesting how Zen's journey as an author kind of reflects his message of unity and interconnectedness.
You're right, he started exploring these ideas on his own, but over time he's built this platform for sharing his work and connecting with others on a similar path.
And it shows that we're not alone in our search for meaning and understanding.
There are so many people asking the same questions, and when we share our experiences and insights, we create a community. We support each other.
It's a powerful reminder that we're all part of something much bigger than ourselves, that our choices have a ripple effect.
Especially in our world today, facing climate change, social injustice, political divides. We need to find ways to connect, to bridge those gaps, to work together.
And Zen's work offers a roadmap for doing just that, recognizing our shared humanity, cultivating compassion, building a world that reflects our highest aspirations.
It's about shifting from me to we, from competition to collaboration, from fear to love.
And it starts with each of us, taking responsibility for our thoughts, emotions, and actions, knowing that we can make a difference.
He talks a lot about synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences. He sees them as messages from the universe, guiding us toward our purpose.
And I think you'd encourage us to pay attention to those synchronicities, trust our intuition, and follow those nudges that lead us to our full potential.
He's not saying to abandon logic, but to integrate it with our intuition, our emotions, our bodies, to create a more holistic way of being.
A more embodied way of living. So before we wrap up, I want to touch on a quote from Zen that really captures his perspective. He said, We cannot think our way through a system built on vibration. We have to feel our way through it. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a beautiful reminder that we're more than just our minds. We're energetic beings, constantly interacting with this field of energy beyond our senses. And to truly understand and navigate that reality, we need to go beyond thinking and tap into our bodies, our emotions, our intuition.
He's saying that our bodies are not just vehicles, they're instruments of perception. Our emotions aren't just feelings, they're energetic signals giving us information.
And our intuition is a direct connection to a deeper wisdom. So when he says, feel our way, he's inviting us to cultivate a deeper awareness of our energetic nature, to listen to our bodies, our emotions, our intuition.
To trust the guidance they offer.
It's about developing a holistic understanding of ourselves and the world, recognizing that we're part of a vast web of energy and interconnectedness. This approach can open up new possibilities, enhance creativity, deepen relationships, and guide us toward a more fulfilling life.
It's about embracing the wisdom of our whole being. So as we move forward, I think it's important to keep his words in mind. Pay attention to those subtle energies, to your body, your emotions, your intuition.
Trust that you are guided, supported, and connected to a wisdom greater than yourself. When we tap into that wisdom, we unlock our true power. We become co-creators of our reality.
Zen's journey is such an inspiration, showing us that even unconventional paths can lead to profound insights. And his work encourages us to embrace our uniqueness, question assumptions, and trust our inner guidance, to tap into our wisdom and create a more conscious and harmonious world. So let's continue to explore, to question, to connect, and to create, knowing that we are all part of this amazing unfolding, this collective journey toward a brighter future. It's really amazing how he brings it all together, his experiences, scientific ideas, spiritual insights. It's all part of this vision he has for the future.
Yeah, it's quite a tapestry he weaves. And speaking of the future, we haven't really talked about his 0 to 1 concept.
Right, his book about creating a conscious civilization.
What do you think about that idea?
Well, it sounds like a pretty big shift in human consciousness, doesn't it? Like moving from separation and division to a state of unity and interconnectedness.
A total transformation.
Yeah, like we're at this crossroads, and we can either choose self-destruction or create a world that lives up to our potential.
He makes it sound like a choice, like an evolutionary leap we have to make.
Exactly. And he uses that analogy of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly.
Ah, I like that.
The caterpillar represents our current state, focused on survival, competition, material stuff.
And the butterfly is that higher consciousness.
Yes. Compassion, cooperation, understanding our connection to everything.
So how do we make that transformation? How do we get from 0 to 1?
Well, he suggests starting with self-awareness.
Becoming more conscious of our thoughts, emotions, actions, and how those affect everything around us.
Right, taking responsibility for our own energy.
And he talks about connecting with our bodies, our intuition, and the natural world.
Grounding ourselves, being present, and recognizing that we're part of something much bigger.
And in the end, it's about compassion and kindness.
Treating each other with respect and understanding.
Building a world that's just equitable and sustainable.
It's a beautiful vision, a world where we're all working together towards something better.
It is, and he truly believes we can make it happen.
But it takes a conscious effort.
A willingness to let go of old patterns and embrace a new way of being.
And I think his work is helping to create that shift.
He's definitely planting seeds of awareness.
Inspiring people to question things and explore what a conscious future could look like.
His whole journey as an author and a thinker is a testament to the power of following your own path, trusting your gut, and sharing your gifts with the world.
He's turned his unconventional experiences into wisdom and inspiration, and he's encouraging everyone to do the same.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into Zen Benefiel's work, I want to leave you with this thought. What frequencies are you tuning into?
What energies are you putting out into the world?
Zen reminds us that we're all instruments of vibrations, sending and receiving energy all the time. So let's choose to tune into love, compassion, and understanding.
Let's work together to create a world that resonates with harmony, peace, and abundance.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the life and work of Zen Benefiel. We hope you're feeling inspired to explore your own potential and the possibilities that exist within you.
Keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep creating the world you want to see.